Oh,
you did it! I did. So choose
friendship bracelets.
Yes.
No, I want this one.
On this one.
I want this one. Everyone touch bracelets.
Oh yes, touch bracelets. Let's touch bracelets.
Welcome back. A lot to say here. Joining me now is Chef Kevin Dobson from Below Deck. Hey, how are you? Do you want to touch bracelets or anything before?
No, I'm all right. I lost mine.
Oh, he lost his. Okay. Well, I want to start off by talking about this season's bromance, given you and all your friendship bracelets. Are you still close with, after the charter season ended? Are you still close with all the guys?
Yeah, definitely. Very close with all the guys. We got a big WhatsApp group, and we just, every other day, we're messaging each other, so.
Do they know you lost your bracelet?
Yeah, I sent them a long video. Yeah, I did like a big ritual thing. I was working on a yacht. We were going over the Pacific.
Very sad.
I had a few reds, and I thought, I'll send them a wee video.
Well, the love grew between the boys this season. So did the divide between the genders. Having watched the season, do you have any regrets of how you and the boys spoke to and about the female staff?
Yeah, I mean, it comes off pretty bad at some points, for sure. And I didn't realize the divide was so great. Like, I knew there was issues, and it seems every week or every charter we were kind of leading into, someone had a problem with someone. It's sort of like the crew wasn't gelling in those last kind of probably 4 weeks going into the end of the season.
But it just didn't seem so divided when you were on the ship.
No.
Only looking back.
No, really, and as I kind of look through my photos posted, there's just so many kind of, the guys and the girls are kind of getting along during the nights out.
Yep.
But watching the show, I'm kind of like, were we that divided? But then I look through all these pictures that I've taken, and we're all kind of having a good time together. So it's kind of, it's
hard to tell.
Exactly.
Well, the tension came to a head on last week's episode with Scorpion Gate at Night Market. Let's revisit that.
It's like, just please move along. Please move along. To you? Yeah.
What do I care? He's a f***ing ghosted.
So? And you're a f***ing fisherman, so whatever.
And you're a f***ing chef.
Have your say. You got the stage.
You
Have your
already
say.
had your shit. It's called gaslighting, and we're not going to be a part of it. Exactly. You're a f***ing misogynist pig.
I'm just a TV host. What happened in your own words? Why do you think things got so heated at that moment? That was pretty intense.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, Riley was, well, first off, it obviously happened at the market store where I was buying the scorpions and stuff, and Riley was behind me. As I was trying to buy these things for the guests, she was kind of just giving me something and kind of pushing me along. Where, as we all know, at a market like that, 4 stalls down, someone else is selling scorpions, So it was a bit like, what are you doing? So I got a little bit frustrated at her, went back, obviously, to the whole group, and obviously Ashton was there, and I said something, but I made sure the whole group could hear, I was like, we've been so good up till this point, and then Riley's we're just about to hop into the van. And then it was kind of like a ping pong show with Riley. I mean, after that kind of blew up with Riley there, Ashton and Riley get into it, but Riley's still going off. And by one point, I remember I was giving Riley a hug, kind of calming her down again, because she was going to Ashton by this point, and I was like, let's just be done. We've got one more charter. So it was kind of just.
Watching it back, did you see it sort of watching it the same way that you interpreted it as it was happening? Like, did it seem accurate to you? Do you see why she was upset with you in any sort of way?
Well, I mean, I can see what because you can see that I'm walking over to a group of people and saying exactly something. But I mean, to kind of start that off at the food stall like that, as she was with me, I was like, what do you expect?
Not good time.
You're just pushing, she's just antagonizing, I guess, at that point, And for me, I was just like, come on, not another episode here, Riley.
Yeah.
Just like we had on, Charter 3 when she first came on board with the dinner episode,
Well, back on the boat, the drama continued, and ultimately Captain Lee woke up, and he was not having it. Let's watch that.
I don't want to know. All I want is people to get into bed and be ready to go in the morning.
Copy that, Captain.
That's all I want.
Copy that.
The rest of it's irrelevant bullshit right now. In less than 12 hours, we've got charter guests, and they're still up kicking this dead horse. I'm madder than a pissed-on chicken.
Oh, I love his sayings. In retrospect, do you think the drama between the castmates was, irrelevant BS?
Yeah, it's to be honest, sometimes it's just alcohol and that close quarters, and it is as Captain Lee's calling it, it's just really irrelevant. And they are starting to just become fights just because we're all getting on each other's nerves so much.
And
you know?
in close quarters.
Exactly, and people are just picking up whatever they can and chucking it at each other, you know. And right now it seems to be girls on boys, you know.
I had Captain Lee and Kate here a few weeks ago, and I
Right.
asked them if Captain Lee had known about, you know, because he woke up from his slumber, if he had known about what went down, how would he have handled it? And he said he would fire all of you guys.
Right.
How do you take that?
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, try to find some crew in Thailand. I mean, yeah. That's as far as I see it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you can't fire the whole crew, that's for sure.
I'll take the job. I can't cook anything, but it just seems fun. You know, tonight we get to see the last chart of the season, and I have to play this clip from the preview.
Jamel's getting married later this year and wants this charter to be a pre-bachelorette party with her close friends. You need to serve them a naughty bachelorette-themed penis cake.
I am confident coming into this cake. I mean, there's only a couple of steps here. You've got to make the shaft, the knob, the balls, and the base.
Have you made a cake before? Because you seem to have known a lot about how to make it. Granted, you're a chef, but
Yeah, I mean, the other thing
seem
is...
very familiar.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is I've got all the things required to make a... You know, like, it doesn't take too
You know
long.
the parts.
Yeah, you know, so... but no, I've never made a cake quite like this one that I'm about to make on this next episode.
Were you nervous?
I get... No. Yeah, I guess. Like, I wanted it all to go well. I mean, I'm nervous with every meal I put out, but, you know, I guess I wanted this one to be extra special.
Takes balls to make a cake.
That's it.
That's right. Well, what can you tell us about tonight's episode? Will you be serving the guests the scorpions you bought? And what do we have to look forward to?
Yeah, the scorpion issue. I won't be serving those scorpions. I seem to run away from that fight with Riley pretty quickly and left them back at the market.
You left them back. After all of that, you left them back at the market.
Yeah, and the boys actually said to me, you know, we've left them on your bed, but I went down to check my bed, and all I had down on my bed was some candy floss that I picked up.
What do scorpions taste like?
They're just like crunchy, like a chip, I guess. There's nothing to them on the inside. It's not like you're going to get anything gooey or squidgy or anything like that. They're just super crispy.
You know, there's tons of different roles on the ship, as we see. There's on the yacht or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part about being a chef? Do you feel like you get the most complaints from the guests because they expect the food to be top notch, always exactly what they want? Like, do you feel like you have the hardest position?
Well, we kind of see that on the show. I mean, obviously, the guest complaints are normally just about the food, and then there might be a thing about some drinks or a bitch throughout the season, but that's about it.
Right.
It's normally always about the food. So, I mean, from kind of a spotlight point of view, I guess my job is kind of, you know, one of the harder ones for sure.
How do you handle the pressure?
You know, obviously, sometimes not so well, and I let other people kind of know how I'm feeling around me at the time. But the other thing is, you know, I guess the highlight is probably at the end of the night when you've done the full day and you're done, there's no more cooking and everyone's happy. You know, that's the best time on a charter. You know?
I would assume getting the tip would be the best part of the charter, but
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes, as we've seen this season, they're not so great, you know, and they're not so good to look forward to. But yes, you know, that is a good time as well, I guess.
it's a good perk.